companies I own does career-related services, resume writing, career coaching, college planning, outplacement, all that stuff. I'll leave a link in the top comment so you can check that out. But a general theme over there is don't get your career advice from TikTok. And I see that as an issue with social media overall. I don't even use LinkedIn anymore because you see so much bad content on there. It's like you can't even. I don't want to be on there anymore. It's as bad as Facebook. But you see a lot of people giving advice about investing on TikTok. You see a lot of advice about careers and life. And you look at a lot of this stuff, and occasionally it's okay. But when you really dig into it, it's like, who's giving me this advice? So when I saw this title, it's like, are we surprised? I don't want to get my economic insights from TikTok. I don't want to get my career advice from people on LinkedIn, for example. And that's why we started that whole other channel over at Employment Boost, just to get career related insights out there. Because I keep seeing people destroy their careers because they read some article on LinkedIn by it's it's often by someone that's never actually managed anybody before or ran a company or had any experience in hiring, given all the advice on what you should do with your job. It's craziness out there. And this is one of those negatives I believe with social media. To be honest, I think it's media in general. You know, my father sent me a piece of news this morning about everyone's getting a stimulus check again. And if you look, I got podcasts all over the place on 3 or 4 different channels, and I got one on Spotify. It's in 190 countries. I'm in the news all day reading, like looking for content, and I didn't hear about this particular one. I didn't realize everyone was going to get $1,400 again. And I'm like, Dad, this doesn't sound right. Like, where did you hear this? And he's like, I'm waiting for him to tell me CNN or Fox News or Bloomberg or CNB, like someone major. And like he couldn't recall, it was some offshoot website. And I'm gonna do another episode on it because now I'm intrigued. But I guess there is a way to get like $1,400 if your income went down and you made less than a certain amount of money. So it's like it's kind of true that there's some stimulus check coming, but it's not for everybody, right? But he read something on the internet, and then it turns into something else. It's like, man, you got to really watch where you get your news from. We are the content we consume, and if you're consuming the wrong content, your life gets screwed up. So, and I deal with this all the time. People are always texting me articles, and it's like, I never heard of this website before. Who's this? I think it's one of the issue is a lot of the good content you have to pay for, and people don't want to pay for it. So you end up reading stuff that is published for free on LinkedIn or social media or some of these other websites that have, there's no one doing fact checking. There's no journalistic standard going on. There's no senior editor. So I feel like social media is the same way, where you can post any viewpoint about anything at any time. But we gravitate towards the things we want to hear. Of course, I look at the career related content. It's if I want to get a channel and have 1 million subscribers, I just got to keep saying, work less and ask your boss for more, right? Just do that kind of content all day where you're telling people the things they want to hear. And if you do that enough, you'll build up a big following. But you end up doing these people a tremendous disservice because you're just doing it so you get the likes, so you can make money off of it. And that's where we're at in going on 2022 here, where we don't want to put content out that benefits anybody. We put content out that benefits us. And I look at what's going on here. I've seen some of these posts pop up on Twitter and even Instagram. It spills over to the happy little place of Instagram where everyone's traveling and living their best life. You see some stuff spill over. It's like, where'd you get this from? And then you see like the TikTok logo in the bottom. And it's like, oh man, it's like I'm having a hard. It's hard having like conversations with people that are only getting their news or their insights or their advice from social media. I was meeting up with some family for Christmas. And granted, it wasn't TikTok, but it was a similar issue where they're just talking about stuff that is completely just false, that they had no background understanding of. But they got this information from somewhere, and it kind of goes along with the narrative. But it couldn't have been more wrong. It wasn't like an opinion thing or an ideal thing. It was just wrong. And it's like, I guess you just get on the internet and you read this stuff, and then you wonder, you get brain rot at some point, and you just start sounding dumb all day. I realize like there's accounts out there like Prof G. I know I get people send me links from that once in a while. There's like podcasts, all in podcasts. There's like four you know rich tech guys talking everything from business and politics to. There's a whole bunch of these people out there that kind of have these more interesting like podcasts or content, but their following always tends to be a smaller. They might only have 50 or 100,000 followers, for example, because no one ever wants to tune in for like the intelligent stuff. And that's where I go back to. If you want to create an account and blow it up, you just tell people what they want to hear, and you just keep saying it over and over and over, and people will congregate towards that. That's where we're at on TikTok, with what's going on with the economy. You got people out there that's like pushing this narrative that's probably not even true. And then now one person sees this video, so they do one just like it, and then someone sees that, and it replicates. And then you end up having this whole cluster of people doing content, pushing the same thing, and now you start to believe it. Because you've seen 10 videos, it must be true. No, it's not true. So that's where if we don't want to do the things that are going to make us smarter, and we don't want to believe the things that are true, we're screwed. But I look at that from all aspects of these people that are, pushing stocks and pushing cryptos, pushing NFTs, the way they talk about the economy, the way they talk about jobs, and the great resignation thing's been going on for months. Well, now they just did an article said that people that left are going back to their old jobs because they realize the grass isn't greener. It's like, the grass is green wherever you water it, and it dies wherever you don't. It's just that simple, right? But you get caught up in this thing, and it's all over social media, the great resignation. It's everywhere. I should change my job too. Until you step back and realize, well, how's that working out for you? There's a right time and a wrong time to change jobs. There's a right reason and a wrong reason to change jobs. Stocks, there's a right reason and a wrong reason to buy stocks. You don't buy it because you saw it in Reddit. It's craziness right now. But it's like we don't go follow the people that have the good content that legitimately help us make better life decisions, that help us get smarter, that bring more happiness to our lives. We always go look for the content that goes with what we want to hear. A good example is if I'm dieting, I'm going to go Google, can you eat pizza while dieting? And of course you can. It's depending on how you're dieting, you can eat a slice of pizza. I'm going to go find that one article in Google that says, hey, you should eat pizza. And then next thing you know, I just killed a whole large Jets pizza. We always go looking for the content that aligns with what we want to believe. Like my father won't go to the doctor right now because he's got some issues going on, and if he searches Google long enough, he can find an article that blames it on the glass of milk he had last night. And he's not having these stomach issues right now because of something else. It's because of that glass of milk, because if you go dig long enough in Google, you will find the answer that you want to hear. This is the new world, and it's not making us better. So my thought is, don't get your career advice from TikTok and LinkedIn and your investing advice and your medical advice. If you got medical issues, go see a doctor. If you're worried about investing, go see an investment professional. If you're looking for, career advice, go seek out professionals that do that stuff. It's just one of those things that getting advice from social media is probably just not the best place. Or find the people that are legit and follow them. It's one of those things like I look at someone that's like a quote-unquote influencer, and I think, I always put like this way. If someone's criticizing me, I say, would I ever switch places with them? And if the answer is no, then I don't listen to them. I had a friend in the music industry say that. He don't care about critics. He doesn't care who's writing about what. If he wouldn't want to switch places with them, then their opinion doesn't matter. It's like me trying to take advice about investing money if the person's got 1/5 the amount of money I have. Do I want to take, investing advice from them? No, I don't. So step back and say, would I would I switch places with this person? Or have they done something for me to believe that they know what they're talking about? But again, do you want to go follow those people? Sometimes they hit you in the face with the truth you don't want to hear. But you're never going to make progress if you keep listening to people that have never done it. But anyways, that's all I got for this episode. I'm going to catch you on the next one.